Hello and welcome to Travel Beans. I'm Emma, behind the camera is Alex, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make a sliding folding sofa bed for your camper van. It works! The first step is to decide what size bed you want and to measure out the space that you've got. So initially what we were going to do was have a side folding sofa bed that was going to be sort of a long sofa bed along the side that would fold out to be a bed this direction. What we've decided to do is change that mid-build, and what we're actually going is for a back folding sofa bed that will come out this way. The main reason for this is we've installed the swivel seat here and we've got the pop-top roof, and we really wanted to kind of open it up and make more of this sort of living space in the middle, and it's so bright and lovely up here, so we thought it made sense to sort of be facing this direction rather than just facing the storage units on the side. We have decided to go for a full-sized UK double bed, which is 135 by 190 centimeters. So this does mean we will be sacrificing the storage space on the side, so maybe for you need more storage, but for us we really want to prioritize having a good night's sleep. The bed itself is going to be a fixed size because of this, so everything else needs to kind of be built around it. So this is why we're going to build the bed frame first, and then we're going to see what space we have left to work with and build around it. To help us visualize it, we've actually ordered our mattress first. So we've ordered 3 pieces of custom cut foam from GB Foam. They were super helpful and actually helped us decide on what thickness and what type of mattress we were going to go for. The website's really easy to use as well. All you have to do is go onto the main page, click on the type of foam you're looking for, put in the thickness and all the other dimensions, and they get it cut for you to size. We've actually reached out to them and managed to get a discount code for you guys, so if you would like to have 10% off, make sure you use the code TRAVELBEANS in the checkout when you go on their website. What we've gone for is a medium foam with a memory foam topper on there, and what we've done is we've actually placed one of the foam pieces inside the van to kind of visualize how wide it's going to be, and that was really handy. So if you've got some cardboard boxes and things laying around, we highly recommend using those to be able to actually visualize where your furniture is going to be in the van. Our folding sofa bed design will be made in 2 stages, the base stage and the top stage. For the base frame, we will be using 2 layers of 2x4 studding connected together using shorter pieces. The base will consist of 2 shorter length support frames, which are about 2/3 of the length of the bed, and 1 longer support frame, which will be the full length of the bed. We will then attach each of the 3 support frames together using more 2x4 studding. Once the main part of the base is made, the sofa to bed extension will then be made using exactly the same method. The extension frame will need to be made wide enough to slide in and out of the shorter part of the frame. Once the base is made, we will then need to cut 5 sheets of ply to lay on top of it, which will be connected together using piano hinges, 3 bending upwards and 1 bending downwards. Sheet 1 will be connected to the main base, and sheet 4 will be connected to the sliding extension, hopefully creating a sliding folding sofa bed. One thing that I've seen time and time again coming up on vlogs, on blogs, on websites is measure twice, cut once. So that is something that I've been doing constantly through the build so far, and one piece of advice that I will forward on to all of you. So we've already measured inside the van, and we've now measured the wood, and everything that we can do today we can technically do with a handheld saw. Very rusty handheld saw apparently, but why do it all by hand when we have access to power tools?
It is extremely dangerous. Quite happily go through your wrist.
Okay,
So our lineo, lined up in the middle of the slotio. If you had a posh one, it would have a little laser sight, but I haven't got a posh one, and if we were being posh, we could not use these.
should we be posh?
But they're such a faff to use.
But that's fine. That's fine.
You know me, it's anti-faff.
That's terrifying.
Imagine that was your wrist.
Oh my goodness. So to join these bits of wood to this bit of wood, we're going to be using dowel pins. You can also use this, which is I think called a biscuit. And essentially you just kind of drill a hole in this part of the wood, another one in this one, put a bit of glue into each one and slot them in. Okay, now we've got our holes drilled in both sides. We have to put the little dowels in. So what we're going to do is put a bit of glue into the holes first. Now we have our bed frame going the length of the bed, attached with the wooden dowels, the top and the bottom, so it's nice and sturdy. Now we have to do it going the width of the bed as well. So we're going to use exactly the same method. We're just going to be drilling holes there to put some wooden dowels, the same on this side, and we're just going to attach it there so it can go across. Now we have our bed frame sort of roughly built. I thought I would put it in the van and just show you kind of how it's going to work so you can visualize it a bit better. So we have it in 3 sections here. So we have this one longer support beam which is going to be there permanently. That's not going to move. We're also going to have some extra storage for like shoes and stuff over here. So that's going to be part of that storage unit. Here we have the moving part of the bed. So this is how far out it's going to come in sofa mode, because the sofa essentially is going to be like that and like that. So when it comes out into bed mode, we'll be pulling it out to there, so that's in line with here. And the 3 sections of cushions will be out fully as a full-sized UK double. And when it folds back up, the bottom piece is going to stay here. The middle piece is going to go up, and the back piece is also going to go up to create like a triangle back section of the seat. I hope that makes sense. We also have our little makeshift kitchen back here just for sort of knowing what it's going to be like when it's pulled out full size and see if it all actually fits. Next up is to go and measure and cut the plywood. So the plywood is going to be this section between the mattress and the frame here, and it's also going to be acting as that sliding mechanism to turn it from a sofa into a bed. For the plywood, we have 2 8x4 sheets. Now, annoyingly, this isn't actually wide enough to cover the full width of our bed. So what we're having to do is do a little bit of cutting out with paper to try and see the best way to fit the plywood so we can have big full sheets on it. Let me show you what I mean. So this is a mock-up of our bed, and each of these sections is a piece of plywood that we need to attach to the base. So these represent our 2 big pieces of plywood. So that's too narrow to fit inside the bed. So what we're having to do is measure out full pieces like that. So right now, all I need to do is measure out each of these, measure twice before I can cut once, and hopefully it'll all fit. Once I finished cutting and sanding down all the plywood for the bed, I then had to actually lay down the vinyl flooring because that's going underneath the bed frame. And now that I've put the vinyl flooring down, it means that I can actually bolt the frame to the floor where it will stay permanently. The bed frame is now screwed firmly into the floor and the plywood is on top. So all I'm doing now is attaching each of the pieces of plywood together with piano hinges so that they can bend. And then there's a couple little extra things I have to do at the end. I just need to trim a bit off the corner at the top. But other than that, it should be a working bed after this. So because our bed is a folding one, we need some way of getting the middle section where we're going to rest our backs against upwards, sort of to hoist it up before we push it backwards. And it only needs like a little nudge. So we've made this little contraption with some offcuts. And all it's going to be is this long bit of stick poking out from under the bed that we're just going to pull, and that's just going to poke the bed up a little in the join that we need it to poke up with, and then we can just slide it back. In theory, this will work. In practice, I'm not so sure. Let's find out. It works!
Look what is right next to me. What the hell? What? It's like my absolute heaven. Watching you work and getting to look at beautiful birds. What are you doing here?
To make it work more smoothly, I actually added carpet on top of the base for two reasons. One, to help it slide a lot more smoothly, and two, to stop it from slamming when going from seat mode to bed mode. I also did the cladding, well, sort of some of the cladding, just so I could see how much space I had here before this was going to rub against the wall. I also am going to finish the cladding going all the way up to the top and do a bit of carpeting around the edges, but for now I just want to leave it all open so that I can use this space up here for all the wiring. And lastly, I will actually be cutting some kind of holes or strips into the paneling at the back here, just so we don't get any mold on our mattress, because we have heard that can be a bit of a nightmare. But other than that, this is it. This is the finished bed. I made a bed, you guys. So if I could do it, trust me, you can do it. I'm so chuffed, I'm so happy with it. Let me show you how it all works. This is the full sofa bed mode. This will also be a storage area here, so we've got a nice little footrest for whoever's relaxing on the sofa. And then when you want to change it to bed mode, all you've got to do is grab hold of this and just pull. Nice! So the first time we did that without the carpeting, that was like slamming against the wood and it was deafening, but the carpet has definitely helped soften the blow. And then to put it up, our contraption that we mentioned earlier is just under here to pull on. So I just pull on that, that pops it up a little bit, and then sofa mode. One of the reasons I put two panels here on the seated area was so I could screw the back panel in, and then using the piano hinge we can actually lift up this front part for storage and be able to access the storage underneath. So of course we're going to be able to slide stuff under, but we have sort of double entry access to the storage.
Oh, Emma.
Oh dear. Something else I really love about this design is because it's so sturdy, we can actually adjust this to be a bit more loungy if we so wish. So for example, you can pull it sort of like halfway and have a more reclined sofa. Because yeah, basically the body weight on this bottom section just stops it from moving. The mattress for this bed is cut into 3 sections, so the back section actually gets tucked behind when put into seat mode, along with any bedding, pillows, sheets, stuff like that. The front piece will actually have some Velcro to attach it to the bottom so that it's not going to slide off forwards. We still need to get our foam all upholstered, so we can't show you properly, but we have done a little demo where the foam is just wrapped in some sheets, and hopefully it gives you a bit of an idea. Honestly though, like the bed with the cushions on is so comfortable. It's more comfortable than I ever could have imagined to have in the camper van. I kind of thought like, okay, yes, we're going to have the full-size double, but we're going to sacrifice comfort a little bit. I can tell you that foam is so bloody comfy. We went for a medium grade foam with a memory foam top layer, and I'm so glad that we did. It's super comfy and I can't wait to sleep on it. And as I mentioned already before, we have got a discount for you guys, so if you want to order some custom cut foam, check out the link in the description and make sure you use the discount code TRAVELBEANS. Well, that is it from today's video. So please let me know in the comments down below, do you like the bed design? Do you not like the bed design? How would you actually improve it yourself? And if you have any other links or tips for other people making beds, make sure you leave that in the description too, because that could be very useful. Give me a big fat thumbs up if you liked the video. Don't forget to subscribe for future van renovation and travel videos. And that's it. Beans out.